Welcome back to my YouTube channel, which you can consider, I guess, part of the underground because it's such a small channel. We talk about investing, if you didn't know, in the stock market. So, this video, Sofi. Last week, I put out a video on my intentions on to closing out the position. I talked about some projections and didn't really get too much into the thesis. There's people that ask me what my thesis on SoFi is, and I guess I'll sum that up in this video, and I'll talk about some projections and we'll go over some stuff too. But real quick, in keeping with traditions, we'll do a sniff check on the portfolio, see how we're doing. Here we go. So we closed out the week here, I guess, pretty much green because the market just did a little rally today. My options over here look like they're starting to get a little activity on these options that I got here. They're starting to rebound because PayPal's going up. And SoFi closed at around $7.49. So we'll get into let's get into the actual buy orders, because last week I said that if SoFi was in the sevens, then you were to see me pretty much finish off this position. So let's pull up those buy orders. If I can find them. Here we go. No. So give me 1 second. Here we go. Bear with me. All right. So as you can see, I'm a man of my word. All right. So I bought a few hundred more shares. I know in my last video I said that it was going to be around, I guess, 1,300 shares, whatever the cap off of 10,000 invested is. I miscalculated, so it just so happened to be 1,200. So that's what it landed on. So 10 G's invested capital, as you can see on my cost basis here, and that landed to 1,200 shares. So that's my position. I'm built out. The way I do things in building my growth portfolio is typically I set a finite amount in my mind of, okay, I do my assessment on why I want to invest in this company, how long do I want to invest in it, and how much am I going to invest in it. And SoFi, I pretty much made the determination like, okay, I'm going to build a $10,000 position, and then I'll hold those shares long. Now, SoFi is one of those stocks where I'm going to hold for a very long time. I'm talking, over 5 years. I intend to hold other positions, and maybe a little shorter horizon, or maybe will be conditional towards certain fundamental steps within the company. So, I mean, that's something to consider. Like my Crocs position, I bet I did 20,000, and that was purely on conviction and valuations, to where, I mean, I was comfortable with putting an extra 10 grand worth of capital to invest. So something to consider. We're not at that phase yet with SoFi. I'm just still young in here as far as like closing out this position. So there's that. So yeah, I'm happy that it stayed within the sevens, and I was able to cap off the 1,200 shares and 10 grand invested into SoFi. So happy for my position. It's a little bit down, 12%, as you can see, but that's typical. After I get done like building the position, or every time I get done building a position, usually that we're a little bit in the red or what have you. So that's typical, because because you think about it, you can't time the bottom. So when you finish the position, it might go down a little more. Okay, so that's something to consider. So SoFi, why did I buy SoFi? Why did I decide to put SoFi in my portfolio? All right, I'll talk about the generalized thesis. I don't want to make this too much of a long video, but there's a lot of different reasons. One is the people, okay? And what do I mean by that? It's a story, all right? So Anthony Noto is pretty much, the management is aligned with the shareholder. One of the criteria to one of my investment theses, and in general before I invest, is it's got to be a shareholder friendly company, to where the alignment of the shareholder is aligned with the manager, and so forth. So if the CEO is buying a bunch of stock, this and that, our interests are aligned. Okay, that's not the only reason though. I do believe that the banking industry is ripe for disruption with the brick and mortars. So what I mean by that is, as a consumer coming up, I've had different banks. I've had Bank of America. I've had, I have an online bank right now, and SoFi is going to be one of them pretty soon here. But the one-stop shop concept attracts me from a consumer perspective, um, and and I think that one-stop shop is going to pay dividends to where you have one consumer using your platform. And it's an easier life. Okay, people want convenience. They want easier routes to simplicity and so forth. So if they have one bank, they're going to want to use everything for that one bank. A lot of, at least, from my perspective. All right. I got several different mortgages with different mortgage companies, and all different types of insurance from other different companies, and it's just all scatterbrained everywhere. I like that it's all in a one-stop shop. That's one attraction towards what I'm seeing. And valuation wise, this company, I think about the market cap and the actual capital out there that's available and what they can achieve, and also from a diversification play in my portfolio. I want one finance play in my portfolio per sector. So I think SoFi is pretty much the candidate. Now, do I view SoFi as a bank or a technology company or fintech? All right, I view them as a bank today. All right. So, but I don't invest for today. I invest for tomorrow. All right. So, listening to Noto and management, I mean, 2024, we might see some more uptrending on their Technisys and Galileo platform. But 2025 is what pretty much I'm tracking that stuff is going to kick in, and I think that will contribute to a higher multiple as well. Other people out there, other YouTubers, and if you go back into my videos, I've been saying this a lot. A lot of the people were like, a lot of YouTubers, and even like 75% of the market thought we were going to cut interest rates in March. I've been calling the first rate cuts to be Q4 or Q3, probably Q4 of this year to happen to start. All right, and I've been calling this since last year, and I'm still calling it now. If I'm wrong, good. If I'm wrong, that's good. I'm positioned in a lot of companies where if they start cutting rates, then these companies might probably start flying. And as you can see, like a lot of my portfolio is positioned in mids and smalls. Now, SoFi Technologies, all right. This is a bank that they're going to continue to grow. Now, the bears are talking. So the bear thesis to SoFi is, if rates come down, it'll hurt their net interest margin or net interest income and so forth. I don't think so. I'm not worried about that. Higher for longer is probably bad for SoFi. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be higher for longer. But on the flip side, once they start reporting profitability, I assess SoFi will probably go up to a higher multiple. I think we'll go. This is no. I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but I'm expecting SoFi to run with the guidance and profitability and strong guidance. I think SoFi can get up to the $13 range and maybe build support around the $12 range for good. And we probably won't see these ranges again. And well, what makes you think that? Well, I'll admit a little bit of it is a hunch, but it was enough of a hunch for me to come in and close this position out at 10K right away. on this downfall right here, this weakness. All right. So let's talk about a little bit of the technicals now that I got some of the, or pretty much the thesis out of the way. As far as, I mean, I can do another video or what have you on more details, and I probably will. I'll go into the quantitative aspect. I'll probably do price targets in another video later on. But let's look at some other stuff for SoFi, because we're not completely out of the woods. All right, because we still got one more week to report. So I'm going to give you another projection. All right. So if you recall last week, I pretty much I pretty much put up the options. All right, so here are the options here. At $8, we used to have like 56,000 put options here. A bunch of those were exercised, sold. I didn't think that, going back to the technicals here on the 5 day, I didn't think that we were gonna dip down this low. I didn't think we would go below 750. We closed the week out at $7.49. I thought that this stock would probably be above $8 or around $8, but it's okay. I'm not really concerned. um, so, but either way, I pretty much had a, looking at that huge put wall, I was like, I don't think that there's a way this thing goes below 7 this week. And if I get the gift and we're hovering in the sevens range or the mid to upper sevens, I'm okay with just buying the rest of my position and saying, okay, I'm good to go with SoFi. And I did just that, as you can see. So why did I choose this week, and why did I come in so early? Well, part of the reason why I came in to finish the position off is that profitability quarter. Once again, I think that once they report that profitability, we're going to take a leg up. All right. Not sure, no guarantees, not financial advice. It's just what I think. um, Another reason why is I felt more confident that I think we're just going to hover around the support for this week, and I'll be able to buy it, and that'll be that. Then next week, all right, going back to this options, all right. There's nothing stopping this stock from going down next week. We can go into the sixes, all right. Got to be transparent. Now, I think it's either we're going to go up a lot next week, or we're going to go down. We're either going up or down. I don't think we trade sideways. We might, depending on what the market activity is, that might influence like the macro, if you will. But that's something to consider. I don't know which way either way. So if it goes up next week, I would have been kicking myself if I didn't build my position and finish it out before the earnings comes out. And if it goes down next week, then I mean, it is what it is. But I was not willing to take a chance on missing my opportunity to just finish and build out this position. So why am I looking at the options all the way up to reporting and not after reporting? You see, fundamentals of reporting will always override technicals, all right, and even options, all right. So you ever notice when a company reports, there's wild volatility, whether it's going up or down? And sometimes the next day it just like chart go like straight up, So yeah, that's why, because the fundamentals will just override all of this other stuff. All right, everything else is just noise in between. All right, so that's something to consider. But yeah, that's my little take on SoFi. I hope I didn't take too long. But that's pretty much my take on it. I'm glad I built the position. I'm glad I'm here with you all. I hope you all are getting value out of this. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your week, and until the next time.